Hello everyone and welcome to today's trade recap. Today's trade recap is actually going to be the setups that I took yesterday on the 7th of October 2025. I took a win and a loss. The win was in lunch, the loss was in AM. And by the way, this is going to be the first trade recap that we post on YouTube. So if you're from YouTube, hello, my name's Rayon. Quick intro about me. I'm from Lebanon, Beirut, and I like football. I go to university and I trade Nasdaq. Yeah, that's it. Pretty simple. Anyways, let's get into it. Every single trade recap that's going to be posted on YouTube is going to be shown with full transparency. We're going to go over daily bias, confluences of every single setup that we take, with us breaking down every single setup that we take. And most importantly, we're going to show you the full PNL on every single setup, whether it's a win or a loss or a break even. We're going to show everything, every single setup that we take. So it's very clear. So it's very important to know because we need that trust between people and us in this shit industry, because everyone's giving out fake results, everyone's renting stuff, and everyone's giving out fake courses. So we're not here to do that. What we care about the most is you, and trust me when I say that. Anyways, let's get into it. Before we start anything, I'm gonna go over yesterday's PNL because I know there's a lot of pocket watchers out here. So this was yesterday's PNL. I made $2,200 on my 15 150k accounts. They're all funded, by the way. And I lost 800 on the first setup, made 3,000 on the second setup. So here's the PNL on 15 accounts. Calculate that. That's how much I made. Anyways, let's get into the real talk now. So when I wanna go on a chart, when I wanna trade Nasdaq in general, I always like to do a daily bias, because doing a daily bias is what helps us traders figure out the plan for the day. Obviously, if we're bearish, we're not going to be going long. If we're bullish, we're not going to be going short. And how do I do my daily bias? It's just two things. Are we delivering from a low or a high, buy side or sell side? Are we delivering from any fair value up, inversion or a respected fair value up? So I always like to start going from daily to 5 minute, which is called something like top down approach. And by the way, you can watch all that in our free bootcamp that we just posted. So go ahead and do so. It's all for free. So much value. I've been trading for 4 years, and this is literally 4 years in one bootcamp. So anyways, coming into the day yesterday, I was obviously bullish. We were at all-time highs, and I have a rule: never sell all-time highs, never short all-time highs, because we're just not delivering from anywhere. Okay, even though we have a sweep, even though we have that, but we don't have enough confluences for us to align the short move. I don't want to be predicting here. It's a game of probabilities. I want to have my edge on the charts, and the way I have my edge on the charts is by taking the highest probability setups. So on the daily, very obvious daily fair value gap rejection from this low, and then we went and made new all-time highs. And then we go to the 4 hour. What is happening on the 4 hour? Where are we delivering from? This is the same low as the daily. We're inversing this 4 hour fair value gap. We're inversing this 4 hour fair value gap. Or by the way, sorry, already inversed. We held this 4 hour fair value gap. We held this 4 hour fair value gap, and the most important thing, we're at all-time highs. And when we're at all-time highs, my bias is bullish until proven wrong. And what do I mean by bullish until proven wrong? It's very clear. Bullish until proven wrong is that I'm bullish, but I'm open to being bearish, because let's say we inverse a higher time frame fair value gap, whether it's a 15 minute, a 1 hour, or a 4 hour. Let's say we inverse that. Then I don't mind seeing lower. I don't mind taking shorts, because from here I would know that okay, we're delivering from all-time highs, but we have a delivery from, I don't know, a fucking 4 hour fair value gap that held, a fucking 1 hour fair value gap that inversed. So coming into the day, now talking about yesterday, we inversed these two 1 hour fair value gaps, made new all-time highs. So my draw was obviously these new all-time highs. We had this 1 hour fair value gap that was very small, it wasn't on ES, and this 1 hour fair value gap that was going to open up at 10 a.m. and this 1 hour order block. So what I wanted to see, and the way I trade all-time highs, is always wait for us to rebalance a gap, whether it's a premium gap or a discounted gap. I don't give a fuck. But as long as it's a gap, just because we're at all-time highs, I don't care if it's a premium gap. I don't mind going and rebalancing the lower gaps, just because we're too bullish. We want to see higher. Market wants to push higher, make new all-time highs. People are buying, so everything is aligned for us not to be too specific on every single gap and too perfectionist. So here's the bias. Obviously, I'm going to show the drawings now. We had this 1 hour fair value gap that I wanted to set up into with this 1 hour order block, which was very clear to me that we were going to retest it. And then we go to the 15 minute. 15 minute, we had this on top. 15 minute, this is the 930 candle, by the way, so don't mind this. I'll just do that if you want. This is the 15 minute candle. So this is what I was looking at. I wanted to see the 15-minute fair value gap. I want to see the 15-minute fair value gap get tapped into, and then probably hold that 15-minute order block. And I don't want to see lower just because, as I told you, I don't care about seeing discounted gaps. I just want to go long at all-time highs after rebalancing gap. So very clear bias, very simple. We had this 5-minute fair value gap right here, and this 15-minute. My play on the day was not to take a trade too early, but still see the 15-minute, maybe go higher, tap that 5, and then target a full close at all-time highs. But anyways, here is the day for you. Let me just put it forward, and then look at this diabolical shit that we had at open. We're like, what the fuck is that? We tapped a 15-minute fair value gap, the 15-minute fair value gap that I was talking about, and then we tapped into a 5-minute fair value gap at the same time. So market was just ranging. It was a 50-point range for like, I don't know, 30 fucking minutes. So we had to wait for that to finish. And we were kind of forming the AMD model. I don't know if you know about it, but the AMD model is very simple. It's just accumulation and then manipulation and then distribution. So this is what I wanted to see. Obviously, we went higher, made new accumulation highs, and then went lower. As soon as we went lower, this was 10 a.m. I always like to wait for 10 a.m. because, as you know, there's something called 10 a.m. power of 3. Not just 10 a.m., it's in general the power of 3, which is 10 a.m. open high low close or open low high close. And I always like to see us open lower into a fair value gap, into a higher time frame PT array, higher time frame fair value gap, higher time frame whatever the fuck, sell side liquidity, buy side liquidity, open lower into it, reject from that, and then just go higher to all-time highs, which was the draw today. So we got the 10 a.m. open low into this 1 hour fair value gap, and this is the first trade that I took. We tapped this 1 hour fair value gap with a beautiful rejection block right here, a rejection wick, and we got a beautiful V-shaped recovery inversion after we tapped. What is wrong with my Wi-Fi in Lebanon? I'm sorry guys. Anyways, we got a beautiful V-shaped recovery, and I usually take the highest time frame inversion in the leg. We obviously had the 3-minute right here. 1 second again, the Wi-Fi. We obviously had the 3-minute right here, which was a very clear 3-minute for me. But I've been trying to refine the model, and I've been finding consistency with that, especially in backtesting, when it's becoming even higher with higher RR, because we already have a high win rate. We just need slightly higher RR, because all of the trades that we take are on average 1 to 1.5 hours to 1.2 hours. To 1 to 2 hours. But still, I don't mind it. It's a very good model. It's amazing, but still refining it and always being better is what we seek. So we inversed this 1 minute fair value gap with a beautiful V-shaped recovery. And if you don't know what a V-shaped recovery is, this is the perfect representation. Go lower, sweep liquidity, and then get a beautiful set of bullish candles, either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever the fuck. But just need to see beautiful bullish candles print out to confirm that we're going higher, that we're gonna see higher. So very obvious setup right here. We got this 1 minute inversion, internal SMT at these two lows. When we went, ES went and swept these two lows again. We tapped this 1 hour, we were delivering off that 15 minute, and then this 5 minute was none of my business. I didn't care about it. So 15 minute delivery, 1 hour delivery, SMT at the lows, inverse the 1 minute in a beautiful V-shaped recovery. So I didn't hesitate twice, pulled the trigger right here, set my stops to the lows. I risk 0.7% on every single setup that I take, set my stop to the lows, and my TP at all-time highs, obviously. And here is something a bit controversial. Looking back at it now, could have been valid, but still, when you're in the setup, you're not thinking too much about what can happen. And now that we see everything, we have a clear representation of everything. I could have went BE right here, but thinking about it now, we have no reason to deliver from here. First of all, this is our accumulation. So these are the accumulation highs. So obviously, if we have an AMD model, where are we going to go to? The accumulation highs. If we had SMT at the highs with ES, I would have said, okay, you're right, I'm wrong. Should have went BE earlier. But we didn't have SMT. We had no reason to reject from that. I liked all of these highs that we had made here. And I like this high. That was the accumulation zone highs. All of this accumulation zone, the highs of it, I wanted to target it, and plus this gives me a 1-to-1 from my entry. So a very clear break even for me. I didn't even think twice about it. This low wasn't something that I had in my books, that I wasn't even looking at, just because this low was inside all of this accumulation leg and all of inside all of this 50-point range that we had during AM opening. So all-time highs as a target, break even was very clear, and took the setup, didn't hesitate twice. We got the 1 minute inverse. Sorry again, the Wi-Fi in Lebanon. We got the 1 minute inverse. Please, Wi-Fi. We got the 1 minute inverse. We swept this high as usual. Made that 1 minute CISD. I was very confident in the setup. Trade my stop higher just a bit to kind of de-risk on the setup. I was totally fine with the risk. I risk 0.7% on every single setup that I take. But it's always better to not to avoid, I'm not gonna say avoid losses, but lose a little bit less. Don't know if you get me. But anyways, we got this 1 minute CISD, inverse this 3 minute fair value gap right here with a 3 minute CISD at the same time. And if you're asking yourself what's a CISD, kind of a break of structure. We closed above all of the manipulation legs, so this is a CISD. We closed above everything, and then look at this fucking bitch, bro. What the fuck is that, bro? And then we got stopped right here. It was already 10:30. The day was kind of over for me. I was just waiting for lunch. Usually, I only take one loss per day, but the loss here was a 0.5% loss. So I was fine with risking just a bit more, especially because I was up on Monday 0.5%. So I didn't mind that at all. I didn't mind the loss. I would have been break even if I lost another 0.5%. So, yeah, this was my first loss that I took. Obviously, in front of you, 1 minute inverse. Again, to recap it, 1 minute inversion, a 1 hour rebalance, 15 minute rebalance, SMT at the lows internally. We got the 1 minute inverse, we got the 1 minute CISD, we got the 3 minute CISD. Our break even was very clear. The trade was beautiful, but we ended up losing on this setup, which is totally fine. It's part of the game, it's part of the win rate. If our win rate is 70%, our win rate is 70%, it's not 100%. We're not going to win every single trade that we take. So I'm totally fine with it. Totally fine. Didn't bother me a single bit. And then kind of slowed down here, sat on my hands, just wanted to see what the market wanted to do, because obviously we tapped into this lower 1 hour fair value gap with this order block. So I wanted to see if market was seeking any rejections higher, or maybe wanted to rebalance lower gaps such as this 1 hour fair value gap that I wasn't looking at in the beginning of the session but started looking at later. I was still bullish because we didn't have any sign of us inversing. We could just run this gap, hold this, and then just go higher. So I was still kind of leaning bullish until I took a break for like 10 minutes, and I said to myself, okay, I'm just going to take a break for a bit. I open the charts at 11:15 and I see this fucking shit. Like, bro, what the fuck? So, when I saw this, I had to fix my daily bias. Obviously, we got a huge dump. ES was totally at the lows, probably all-time lows. And we had something very interesting here, a very nice level that I like a lot, and it's probably my favorite level on the market, which is the new weekly opening up. New weekly opening up is obviously when we open a new week on the chart and we get a gap. We don't always get that, but when we get that, it's such an amazing pull to price. It pulls price so well bro, just look, it justifies itself right here. Like, what the fuck? Rejected off of all-time highs, and then we didn't care about a single 4 hour intermediate low. Look at how many intermediate lows we had. 1, 2, 4 hour fair value gap. And then we were at all-time highs, delivered off all of that, swept all of this liquidity, bro. Like, look at that. Just for this beautiful new weekly opening up. So, again, bias was obviously bearish coming into AM, so I was willing to take continuation shorts. Into lunch, so I was willing to take continuation shorts. I was willing to take a setup because when I see something like this, it's just beautiful for continuation shorts. Beautiful. You just wait for a rebalance of a gap. Same exact thing for all-time highs, but hold the laptop the other side. So same exact thing. I want to see rebalances. I want to see us rebalance the first fair value gap and then target the very obvious and clear down liquidity. So we got that 5 minute open up. We got this 5 minute open up and this 5 minute open up. And then, bro, look at this. We opened up the 5 minute, and then what the fuck is this? Usually, the way I take continuation shorts is tap of a gap, rejection of a gap, and then straight rejection. Not this. So again, sat on my hands, nothing that could have been taken. We just had this small 1 minute inverse here, but it was after the resweep of the resweep of the resweep of the resweep of the rejection, so fuck that. I waited, and set alerts at the low of this NWOG. So usually when I wanna see a NWOG fill, I wanna see it filled, like everything in the NWOG get filled. I just don't wanna see the first low half of it. I wanna see all of it get filled. And we got that. Very, very nice, very clear, very obvious. We got that beautiful fill of the NWOG. And then we started. This is where I hopped on the charts. I wanted to take my setup, and it was very clear for me that I wanted to see higher. I wanted to see higher time frame gaps getting rebalanced because we swept higher time frame liquidity. Plus, we had a beautiful SMT at these lows. Let's look at that. ES took these lows and we had a beautiful SMT. So technically, if I soup that, I would have got low of day and maybe low of week, just because today we're just flying. I don't know what's gonna happen at FOMC. It's in 3 hours or 2. But anyways, SMT at the lows, filled the NWOG. Everything was so perfect for me to take longs. So when I usually take longs after such big moves, I always like to target unfilled fair value gaps just because it's so clear that we're going to rebalance them. But when we have a dump like this with all of these fair value gap, you might ask yourself, which fair value gap do we take? Which fair value gap is the best to take? And let me tell you, the best fair value gap to take right here is the fair value gap that swept liquidity. But here, we had a huge leg. We had 1, 2, 3. Is this a gap? 3 1 minute fair value gaps. We had 2 2-minute fair value gaps. We had 1 3-minute fair value gap. So if we want to inverse this fair value gap and deliver higher, this whole move is gone for me. So what I wanted to see was a new manipulation leg. And if you know what the manipulation leg is, obviously a manipulation leg is the leg that swept liquidity. So I wanted to see a new manipulation leg, whether it's a resweep or a retest. I don't give a fuck, but I just want to see market go just a bit lower, have a new fresh leg with new fair value gaps, and this is exactly what we saw. Waited for that, got the move right here, and then look at this beauty of a fair value gap that formed, and this fair value gap failed, obviously just because we filled liquidity, and then we're going higher to higher levels. And something that I've been trying to refine as well is these highs like this, when we have the highest high of the manipulation leg, which is a high that's very clear to me, and it just makes sense because imagine it in your head. If this is the start of the sweep of liquidity, obviously we have a lot of orders here. So this was my play. This was the plan that I was looking at. Especially that we opened up this 15-minute right here. We were opening up this 15-minute. I think the trade, I took it 5 minutes before the 15-minute gap opens. But I was that confident just because we filled the NWOG. We had a beautiful V-shaped recovery again. Just look at this, bro. Beautiful V-shaped recovery. Didn't hesitate twice to pull the fucking trigger. So for all reasons, I took the setup right here. I put my limit at the gap, and it was a 4 con limit. And my stop was at the lows. I was risking around 0.7% on the setup. Kind of over risking on the day. I would have been down 1.2%, but it's fine. I was fine with it, totally fine with it, because last week was a 3.5% week, so I'm fine with risking this week. So here's the setup, a beautiful setup. I was initially targeting that 5 minute, but then when I saw the 15-minute open, and then especially we got 12 p.m. We were opening 12 p.m., which was lunch hour. We got 12 p.m. open higher. So when I saw us open higher into this fair value gap with, I'll show you now. But when I saw us open higher into this fair value gap, I just hesitated just a bit that, okay, we probably might not see this 5 minute. Probably going to see these highs, probably going to see the manipulation highs, but not higher than that. And bro, it's too perfect. So 1 minute inverse, 1 minute CISD, beautiful. Got the perfect fill on the gap, look straight to profits, and then went break even at the last high that we made. Obviously, this high makes sense because this high is inside fair value gap. So this high is rejecting from fair value gap. So if you want to reject it, it's technically a liquidity sweep inside a fair value gap. So as soon as we swept this high, went straight to break even. Wasn't a 1-to-1 necessarily, it was kind of a 1 to 0.8, but still, as I told you, it's a high inside the fair value gap. So one break even right here, and then I waited for us to open 12 p.m. This was the 11:59 candle, and as you know, open high, probably gonna get low close. So we opened higher, and I saw this candle, and then obviously Wi-Fi in Lebanon, thankfully it helped me this time. So I closed the setup around here. I sold 3 cons, so 90% of my position, and I left a runner to this high just because I was kind of experimenting. I didn't go aggressive on my stop trailing. I don't like to trail stop, but I was kind of experimenting, like whether we're gonna hit these highs or maybe go higher. I wouldn't care because I already took my profits. I was already up on the day. I took a 1 to 2 RR setup with a 0.7% risk, so I was already up on the day, and I was up like $1,200 something, which is very nice. So I took the trade to this high, and then look at this beauty of a top tick, and just stay bottom tick, top tick. Look at this. You can't make this up. Got a beautiful setup, and ended the day, let me see on here, ended the day up, says 3,400, but my fill was just a bit lower. So 3,000 on the setup, 800 loss on the other setup, up 2.2 thousand on the day. I'm not trading today, FOMC, as I said again. But let's recap. Quick recap on the setups, very quick. So the first setup was we were at all-time highs. We tapped into a 1 hour fair value gap, made SMT, went higher, beautiful V-shaped recovery off of that 1 minute inversion, and then target was all-time highs. Very clear, very simple. Got stopped out, didn't give a fuck. Next setup, waited for launch, got this, I don't know what the fuck you call this move. Got this huge move to the NWOG, rejected off of that NWOG, waited for a small retest, took the 1 minute inversion off of that retest with 1 minute CISD. Target was the 15-minute fair value gap, and as I told you, look, open high. Probably if we inverse this fair value gap, we're probably gonna deliver lower, and then look what happened. We delivered lower. So this is what I was kind of looking at, which was this fair value gap. So I just closed off of here. It was very clear to me that we were gonna reject off of these highs. So top tick the move, bottom tick the move. Again, SMT at the lows, a 4 hour external SMT, which is huge. 1 minute inverse, break even at the last high that we made, which is an intermediate high, which is a high inside the fair value gap. Target was the 15 minute and this beautiful buy side liquidity level, which is the high of the manipulation leg that went lower and swept the new weekly opening up. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, and I'll see you hopefully on the next one. And as always, bang shabab.